No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I haven't either.
No.
You were invited to one
I mean,
for Gary
it-
Blumenthal, weren't you, once?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I didn't even get invited to that one.
Oh, recently there was. Gary had a reception
Honestly.
recently.
See, I know that.
Honestly.
Isn't that big? Ron
don't I
Fox.
get-
You went to one for Ron Fox once, probably.
I tell you, I go to most receptions for politicians in this area.
Yes, that's right.
All of them.
That's good.
Well, that's nice. Why do they have receptions?
Usually to raise money.
Oh, I thought maybe it was to try to help them make decisions
In a hurry.
in a hurry.
With lots of planning.
Yeah, right.
If I decide to run for the state legislature or governor or something like that, will you handle my campaign?
Probably
And will you be
not.
my press agent?
Yes, Jim's handled some memorable campaigns, haven't you? Name some
Yes.
of them. You have. You've even had a winner.
The most
haven't you?
exciting was,
Did you have a winner?
of course, Jan Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
that
a winner
really
before
fun.
you started.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The National Republican Committee sends field people out to talk with each campaign, even before the primary. And at that point, they're not taking any sides, but they're just out there to see, you know, if your candidate, how the campaign is organized and whether you know what you're doing and that sort of thing. And after my visit with this fella, he said, it looks to me like you can't win this election. It's already won. All you can do is lose it if you mess up. And I said, yeah, I think that's about
That's
right. You know, she's ahead. She should win. If we just don't mess up the campaign,
Yeah.
she should be in Congress.
She didn't have Janley as her campaign manager.
Right.
She'd
It
be a
wouldn't,
cinch.
it wouldn't have been a question.
She'd be a cinch.
I made it exciting.
Right, that's right. I've even endorsed some winners once in a while. I can't remember their names. I don't remember their names, but a couple guys back there, right?
You're not as involved politically as you used to be.
Yes, I am. You
Are
name
you?
it, I'm involved in it. No, yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe, but no, I get involved, like the recent school bond fiasco. I was involved in that.
Oh, that's right.
I get into those things, yeah.
Are you an unbiased journalist?
Yes, of course, right.
Is he a what?
See, that is
No, I
your
heard
favorite
journalist,
one.
but what did you say?
Unbiased.
Oh, unbiased. I'm sorry.
Unbiased.
Yeah, unbiased.
I guess, though, no one's really unbiased. We say we're unbiased, but not really. We all have feelings, and things from the past come in to feed into it. So we try to render an unbiased decision, but I'm sure that, you know, things come into our minds. We fight it. We fight it hard to try to be as fair as we can, and that's all we can do.
Well, I think we all have biases, but Tom, you know, I think everyone would say that Tom isn't owned by anybody, a political party or cause or group or whatever. So, but you know, we all have things that we prefer over other things, and those are biases if they're not.
We're getting awfully serious.
Yes.
Talking about biases, and the person that really knows.
Well, I wanted to say
the
something
scoop on
nice
both
about
of
Tom.
You. He doesn't shed.
Thank you. Right, that's right, thank you.
There's another person I want us to join us today, and that's
Yeah.
Vivian Wilkerson, the program
Good.
manager.
Hey,
Yes.
hey,
Come on, Vivian.
Come on over here, Vivian. Vivian is the whip around here, and she honestly can probably give us more
She likes
scoop
whips.
on the two
Vivian
of you.
likes whips.
I prefer cheese.
You've got a microphone?
No.
Well, put your head on my shoulder.
Well,
we may
had
start
one.
at the Overland.
All
had
right,
one
I'll
over
go
there.
get the
No, he'll
mic.
bring you one.
Okay,
Here he comes. Here.
here he
Here it comes.
comes with a mic.
The man with
Good.
the phone.
All right. We want you to come over here and talk with us. You have to work with Leathers, and you have to work with Yonley, and surely there are some things. And I know that you never have any problems.
Never
working
any
with
problems
me.
with.
No, but it's Mary Gersh and myself and Jill and Terry never give problems.
Right, right.
Women don't give problems.
Right.
Well, Tom doesn't either because he has Carol Neal who does his
That's right.
He just shows up
I
when
don't
she
talk to
tells
her
him
anymore. I
to.
say, right, Carol, what do you and Vivian decide to do this
Yeah,
week?
what was funny this morning, I come in, I do this live show, having a few little butterflies this morning, because Vivian said, "You may have to go on alone, Anne." Yonel is notoriously late, and Leathers
yes.
never gets here on time either.
That's right.
And I said,
Tom's
"Ooh."
usually 1 minute early
Yes.
or 1 minute late.
That's right.
He's never exactly on
I was
time.
5 minutes early today, and
And you were going through an anxiety
I
attack.
couldn't take
Yeah.
it. I couldn't handle it.
You were
How
pacing.
come?
I don't know. I've tried to study that that phenomenon within me. Maybe on the good side, I think on the bad side, when people who are late, probably that is their subconscious excuse. You know, if I come here 2 minutes late, do a show and it's not good, I'd say, well, yeah, you know, if I got here on time, it'd be all right. Or people who, the nice side would be people who come right at the end, come in full speed, ready to go and charging in instead of sitting around wondering what to do. But I find a little technique in doing this. I used to go out, this is a very dull story, folks. I used to go out and do my notes.
Save that for your show.
I used to go out
show.
and to plan my show ahead. Like I used to go to the Fluffy Fresh Donut Shop.
Oh, I know where you used to go, but they won't let you back in.
That's true. There's a lot of those places I can't get in. So I used to go and do my notes, like, you know, who I was interviewing, Mr. Yonley, I'd ask him, you know, why is it you're like that, and things like that, write down my notes. But now I do it in the car as I drive out. I have my notepad as I drive out, I write my notes, and I find that very effective. Seriously, as you come right in, you're really ready thinking about your thing. So if you arrive right at time, you come right in, your mind's completely on that subject, and you go right in.
What technique do you use?
Well, I can tell you why I don't always arrive on time. I
You're
have so
looking for a
many things.
guest.
No. Well, sometimes. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes my guests go to the basketball game and forget they're supposed to be on. But, you know, I have so many things I want to do, and I always think that I can get just one more phone call made, or
I do that.
You know,
agree. That's probably
and I just kind of overestimate how long it's going to take to do some little, you know, one more little thing quick before I go, and I look, oh yeah, I've got time to do this, and I make what I think is going to be a 2-minute phone call, and it turns out to be an 8-minute phone call. Then I'm late.
In other words, you don't admit you're neurotic like I do. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's probably some
Right. I've
neurosis
admitted
of some
right here that right, I have.
Yeah,
You know what?
you know, I keep
I'm
thinking
sick and I admit it, and Johnny would admit it.
I'm busy.
What is interesting about this, you know, program is we came in this morning and Yonley says, I'm going to sit between you and Leathers because this way I'll be able to talk today. He thinks that's the talking seat. Now, Vivian, have you ever known Jim Yonley to be at a loss for words? I mean,
Only at a basketball game.
when he's announcing. Right.
Oh, I will tell you what happened one time at a basketball game. The game had ended, and the camera person that was on me, you know, was doing like this, okay? And I thought that meant keep rolling.
No,
You know, keep
I
doing-
see. Yeah.
And I thought, well,
Hurry
you know,
means hurry up.
Well, I thought this means
Yeah, right.
wrap it up.
All right.
This means
Watch
keep-
your fingers,
So
please.
anyway, I said, well, you know, let me run through the stats again, and the pep band is playing, you know, so it's kind of, there's some stuff going on, and I'm looking at the monitor, and now they're on the pep band, and I said, you know, once I gave the scoring, and, you know, well, again, the way and, you know, and I get this again, and I'm thinking, why are we still, you know, I said, well, let me review, you know, at the end of the first quarter, so, you know, finally the camera person goes, well, that's it tonight, you know, and so we get off the air. So we're off, and Bruce said, you know, yeah, like, what were you doing? I said, well, you kept giving me keep rolling sign. He said, no, that's wrap it up. I said, this is wrap it up. This is keep rolling. Anyway, we got our
This
signals.
is.
Yes,
And
yes.
have you ever gotten
Yes,
one
I
of those?
No.
Well, I
Well, I
got.
did know what this meant.
I got this one time.
Oh, yes.
You know, maybe the viewers don't realize that, you know, and sometimes guests sitting here will say, well, how did you know when to end? Because they don't notice the subtle
Yeah.
cues that we get, and we get a variety of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, really a variety. But I had gotten this, so I started closing, and the person came out behind the camera and went. So here I'd started to close, so then I start talking and talking and talking.
What about the time? What about the time the person came out behind the camera and went like this?
Oh, it was a
Friend of mine.
well, you both were working camera that morning. You were on camera, is that one?
Camera one.
And she was on
Janine.
camera, Janine Wise.
Oh, she read your head.
Yeah,
That's right.
she did that.
Plus she, the other day I happened to turn on television and is it Divorce Court?
Yes.
And she's in California now, in L.A. And she was the attorney
You're
on
kidding.
divorce
Really?
court.
Yeah, she
she's
is an attorney.
Is that
she
right?
is. Well, she is an attorney, but and was also working on a master's degree in communications, and she had also had an improvisational group down in Westport called Plum Nuts, and she's a very talented lady.
I
But-
could see that.
Yes, but I was doing an interview with Bob Bacon when he
Yes.
was county commissioner.
Yes.
And we were talking, and this was Janine's last day because she was going to go to Channel 5.
Be a producer or something,
and
wouldn't you?
Weekend News. And I always wondered after that why Fred Borowski left. But you get a little cue over here
Yes.
out of the side of your eye. And so, but what I was getting was some movement. Usually I can just tell when it's, the
Yeah.
cue, and I just kind of, and they know, and it's subtle. But here was all this movement. And I look, and she was giving me a bare-chested 2-minute cue
For two.
for 2
Like
minutes.
this.
And Bob Bacon was
And
on
Bob
your
Bacon
show?
was the guest. Well,
You lost him immediately, I
No,
could
he didn't
say.
see
he
it.
did not
Oh, he
know.
didn't?
He was looking the other way.
Oh.
I see.
But I mean, I
didn't see
had
the
to be the
camera.
diversion. Then I mean, this poor man probably thought I'd lost my mind because I really got up and just started talking in
Very
eyes.
intense.
Very intense because I was scared to death he would turn his head, and I would have been embarrassed. And plus, I didn't want to laugh.
I was.
You and Vivian was on the other camera, and she
Yeah.
was just.
I was gone.
Then I got, she covered up the other side when she gave me a 1-minute cue. And,
Yeah, that's true. That's
and then
right.
one time I had a camera person who was very involved in the women's movement, and I also had a guest that was very negative to the women's movement and was calling them all lesbians and very negative throughout the interview, and I was trying to remain very neutral. And the camera person got very upset with me, and by the time we got down to the 1-minute cue, it was a different 1-minute cue than what I
I see.
normally get.
It was the
Yeah.
wrong finger.
I
and-
just, I have to tell you,
Got
I'll never
confused.
forget though, I don't have to, maybe,
The editorial comment by a crew.
yeah, at the time Marilyn Chambers was on, you remember Marilyn's the porno queen of all
Yes.
porno queens, and she was here for the movie. And she wore, apparently in those days, she was actually doing nude shows on cable. This is true, I read, and she was with Dick and Jay on the radio that morning, and she actually would be nude at KY102.
In the studio?
In the studio, just with them.
On
and
radio.
She would do that, on radio. She would go all around the country being nude.
And you thought
So
was
she,
ready to
no, so she came on for the first time, and she had a jumpsuit on, and I mean, I just sat there the whole show, and after it was over, she said to me,
Is she the lady that lost her microphone that you felt retrieved?
that was Morgana. No, and so,
True
so
story.
after it was over, this is true, she said, I wore this outfit because I didn't know if you wanted to do the show nude. I mean, and she did, honestly. So this is a true story. So have you ever heard this, how I told you this? The next time Marilyn came back for another showing at the Telecable for a movie called Insatiable, was her movie down there.
Showing is a strange word that you use there.
Yeah, right. For her next event, really an interesting girl. So I said to Jim, this is true, I said, Jim, look, she wants to do this thing nude. Why don't we do this just for fun? At the 30-minute mark, when the show's normally over, I'll say something, well, Marilyn, nice to have you here, and then you can cut the show. Then I'll say, well, something about, would you like to do the show, or nude or something. And Jim, would that be fun? He said, yeah, go ahead and do it. We'll keep the camera right on just for fun. This.
You're
Jim may
terrible.
not remember this, but this would be fun.
Probably Jim doesn't remember that. I think you may have.
Marilyn's an interesting girl. She really is. She's an interesting girl. So Marilyn comes out to do the show, and Leathers, this is big. I was so nervous all morning, and, preparing for this event, because I was going to look right in her face the whole time, just looking right where she did. And so Marilyn comes out. Well, that day she wore some high-neck dress and ruffles and skirt and all sorts of stuff. And she came on and said, "You aren't
Is that why
gonna-
you had her back the second time?
you aren't going to have us do the show nude?" She said, "Oh no." She said, "I didn't know if you'd wanted to do it. You should have told me. Last time you didn't do it that way." I said, anyway, that's a true story. Right?
So
I'm
he didn't
waiting-
invite her back again.
No,
She hasn't
I'm
been
waiting
back.
for her to come back again, right?
I have out of doing these 3,000 shows, there have been people that I have worked with over the years have just really been some wonderful people. And you all, I've enjoyed visiting with you, visiting with your guests. I give your guests a bad time. I give you a bad time, not your guests a bad time. I enjoy visiting with them. I enjoy your guests. One of the memorable guests that you had was Red Skelton. And he asked me if I would like to have his autograph. And I said, I wish now I'd asked for the autograph. I'd said yes. But instead, at that moment, he was such a sweet, dear man. I said, just a hug.
And he did,
And
didn't he? I remember that, yeah.
He was a nice, nice man.
Yeah.
The people that I've worked with over the years, I started out with a man by the name of Dick Fairbanks and also Jim Perner, whom we had met a little earlier. And Jim is still here, station manager. I can remember brown bag lunches and being away from really civilization, being located out here. Early on, I remember a cameraman by the name of Bruce McRoberts, and Bruce is now the director of the program.
He was no good at camera, was he?
I remember one time.
Oh, here it comes, Bruce. You better pot her down now.
I remember one time how kindly he treated me.
One time?
No, Bruce is
We want to hear more about this.
No, I won't tell my Bruce stories, but I will say that Bruce, the young people that have been here that I worked with, probably a lot of these crow's feet come from the laughing and the good times and also the working times with everyone. Vivian Wilkerson, I've enjoyed working with you very much.
Well, thank you.
And I know that you have worked.
I have a few crow of mine, too.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to
you
go for a
know,
facelift at the same time, or else
people
quit
should know.
laughing.
I'm sure I give her more trouble than the rest of you, but you know, I'll call in at 2 minutes till 11 and say, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you I'm not going to be there today at 11, but do you have any time, you know, next Wednesday? Well, just a minute. Impatiently she goes through and looks and,
What are they doing on
What
the
are we
screen?
doing?
What are they
don't
doing?
know.
Tom,
Well.
I think that they made you the unknown comedian. Marilyn Chambers just called in.
Am I supposed to
Off
take
with
off
his
my
head.
clothes?
Okay, Vivian Wilkerson, Bruce McRoberts. Steve Pashang has been here for years, and I remember starting out working with Steve when Steve was in high school. Steve is now father of 2 children, is the engineer, and I can remember going through all of him going to school and all of the training and so on. And if it's broke, he can fix it.
what he doesn't know about electronics, you don't need to know.
That's right.
Really.
Scott Stewart. Scott Stewart is probably our straight man. No, we're his straight
Right,
We're his
right.
straight people. Scott is good for grins. He is good for lots of other things, but I mean, if ever there's any reason that you might be down a little bit and you run into a Scott Stewart, you've got the grins. Brenda Owen and Pat Smith are the receptionists, and they're the ones that funnel those calls and tell people that we'll talk with them, we'll schedule them, and we really do appreciate, because I think that having Pat and someone like Brenda there really helps tremendously in projecting that we do care, we are interested in presenting programs to the public. And of course, I've got these camera people today. I've got Russ Cox over here. And Paul, can you pick up Russ? He's working. He's working over here. Yeah. I don't know. You may be in the dark a little bit, but there's Russ. Wave, Russ, and flash a smile. Pretend it's
Just
a
a
K-State. Yeah, just a smile. And we don't have any of those kind of camera things going on anymore. Editorial comment or exposures after a few conferences.
right.
Then we have another camera person by the name of Paul Terry. And Paul Terry, you say hi and give us a wave?
So,
Yeah.
You're-
Yeah, there
you
he is. There's Paul Terry. And then, of course, Doug Smith is on camera part of the time, and Doug happens to be assisting in the control room right now. And Doug has been around a long time, and I think that these crews and these people that we work with are just pretty marvelous people. Over the years, I've worked with several different crews, and we have some tape of the 1,000 show mark and the 2,000 show mark. And I'd like to go ahead and look at that tape
Oh, yeah,
if we
let's
have
do
some
that.
time.
Does the woman clutching this man's arm look familiar to you? If not, she should. It's Ann Debus, hostess of Telecable's live daily talk show, Around Town. Since the program began back in 1974, Ann has produced 1,000 topical, informative, and sometimes entertaining shows that have endeavored to keep the Johnson County citizen informed, educated, and again, sometimes entertained. In the process, Ann has gained 30 pounds, lost 40 pounds, gained back 35, and lost another 25 for a net result of, well, who really cares anyway? Ann has been handcuffed by a magician, had the rare privilege of riding an elephant at the zoo, and had her portrait painted by a world-famous artist, all on the same day, no less. Just kidding. She's interviewed politicians, former convicts, home economists, lawyers, doctors, you name it, and it's probably been on the show. Oh, I almost forgot the orangutans. Ann has done shows from remote locations such as the Johnson County Fair, Kansas City Zoo, and Worlds of Fun. I believe that's Ann there with the Johnson County Commissioners. All to bring you, the viewer at home, an up-close and personal look at happenings in this great metropolitan area of ours. The following videotape segments are our way of saying, thanks, Ann, for 1,000 great shows. By the way, Ann wanted to personally salute all those who never thought she'd make it to show number 1,000. Happy anniversary, Ann.
Let's take a peek behind the scenes at Ann as she waits for makeup, reading the paper over a cup of coffee and a cigarette.
Inside the News, a 30-minute inquiry into the thinking of a newsmaker, is produced by Tom Leathers and is an exclusive Telecable presentation.
Ann Debus is a known professional, but even professionals sometimes make mistakes.
Hi, welcome to Around Town. I'm Ann Debus. I did it wrong. Welcome to Around Town. I'm Ann Debus. I'll be seeing you around town. Be good to yourself. What am I supposed to say? Be good to yourself. Have a good day and be good to yourself. Okay. I'll be seeing you around town. You have a good day and be good to yourself. I'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day and be good to yourself. I'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day, be good to yourself, and don't forget the Wombat Festival.
Okay, camera 2, wrapper. Come on, Ann, say goodbye. Let's go. Bye, Ann, so long. Let's wrap her up, gotta go.
We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day, be good to yourself. We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. We'll be seeing you around town. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. And I believe there is a Wombat Festival that will be coming up. Don't forget it. That could really make you feel a little bit mellow seeing
Yeah.
all of those, because it brings back